Hi everyone, and welcome to the comparison video of the Onyx Boox Note 2 and the reMarkable Paper Tablet Gen 1 devices. Let's see how they stack up against each other and which one's best for what type of work, what's the best device for your needs. Let's get going. Alright, so here are the devices. We got the Onyx Boox Note 2 on the left side and reMarkable Paper Tablet Generation 1 on the right side. And let's compare the overall design and the build quality. Right off the bat, both devices are extremely well built and they feel really good in the hand. However, I really do have to say that even after extended use, I'm not a fan of the plastic and the fingerprint happy plastic and the glass top on the Onyx Boox. It's just something, the glass is nice, but the plastic itself, especially for the price range, doesn't feel premium at all. It really doesn't feel premium, and this little notification light is just really ugly, like the ugliest blue that I've seen in a very long time. So I'm not a fan as far as the aesthetics and the design itself. And as I discussed in the previous, in the in-depth review, I am a huge opponent of these types of corners, because for the prolonged types of use, the only thing that happens is that you've minimized the area where the contact with your palm will be, so that means just this hard edge here just sits directly into your palm. Contrast with the reMarkable that has completely flat edges on the sides and nicely cornered edges, and when you actually hold it, these corners are nicely shaped and nicely beveled from every side, and it just is way more gentle on your palms for extended use. So aluminium back, nice rubber feet for it not to slide over the place when you're writing things, and the plastic cover, which is structured to be like paper on top. Overall, I think for the money and just as a general type of impression and handling device, for me it's reMarkable all the way. That's not even a competition. This is just some tablet that's kind of bulky and heavy, and this one is a special type of experience. So as far as the build quality goes, I think they're on par. As far as the design itself goes and ergonomics, definitely a round goes to the reMarkable. Physical specifications they're fairly similar devices. They're pretty much exactly the same thickness, exactly the same width. The only difference is that the reMarkable is slightly taller, probably because of the buttons at the bottom, or yeah, whatever. But either way, there's one thing that's interesting. Even though reMarkable is a little bit larger, it is about 28 grams lighter than the Onyx Boox. That's because Onyx Boox has a gigantic battery that lasts for infinity and beyond, and reMarkable doesn't, and therefore its battery doesn't last that long. More on that later. But as far as the ergonomy of the devices themselves, despite reMarkable being slightly larger, I would again have to give the edge to reMarkable here as well, because added weight in the lower size seems just a tad too heavy. This one is on the Goldilocks side, where things are simply just right and they're balanced correctly, while this one isn't. This one is bottom heavy, and more importantly, because of the glass screen on top and plastic on bottom, it's much more front heavy. So if you're reading like this, you're much more prone to have it falling on your head, while the reMarkable simply isn't. reMarkable remains balanced because its center of balance is much more, sorry to say it, but balanced. As far as the specifications goes, there's no even point to actually compare it, because every single thing that you look at, Onyx Boox completely dominates reMarkable Gen 1. Every single thing that you can take a look at, Onyx Boox simply destroys reMarkable, so it's not even a competition, it's a complete walkover of Onyx Boox Note 2 over the reMarkable itself on paper. Those are the specifications themselves. We will see about the actual performance a little bit later. Both devices have the exact same specifications of the screen, but not the same screen. They are definitely different technologies that are being used. So same size, same resolution, same pixel density, of course. Now, for an e-ink display, as far as display speed goes, yeah, Onyx Boox has some speed modes and stuff, but even in the fastest mode, which is completely useless, it cannot keep up with the reMarkable's canvas display, which is absolutely reMarkable. One other thing is the white color that a lot of people are actually talking about. They are saying like how reMarkable is too dark. For me personally, I don't see it as such. For me, it's not a big deal, but for people who are concerned with that, I think Onyx Boox is a tad lighter, but only a smidge. But that doesn't really matter because Onyx Boox Note 2 has a front light, which is adjustable, both blue and the orange tint of the light, fully adjustable, so it can get to be extremely bright, like totally in your face, or it can get to be very, very dim. And the nice thing as well that Onyx Boox has is that the long press on the button, it only has one button, turns off the front light or toggles the front light. So this is the screen itself, how it looks like when the front light is off. And you can see that the color is fairly similar to the reMarkable, but once it's turned on, then it gives you this a little bit nicer, kind of brighter type of a look. Now, because of the front light and because of the glass and because of all of these things, you'll see what I've talked about in the in-depth review of the Onyx Boox Note 2, but it does suffer from a huge problem, for me at least, and that's the space between the surface that you're writing on and touching and the actual screen. It's so deep that it is distracting, and under certain angles you will actually lose some of the characters around the edges here. Of course, on the reMarkable that's not the case at all. I don't know how they managed to do it, but it seems like you're writing on the surface of the screen itself, which is absolutely fantastic. The second thing is that the feel of the glass I really don't like on the notebook, on the Note 2, and I really prefer how overall use, writing, reading, everything, I really prefer how the screen of the reMarkable 2 is. And basically when I combine all of the features, even though Note 2 again has more features than the reMarkable as far as the screen itself goes, I have to give the cake as far as the screen performance and the look and the overall feel goes to the reMarkable. Then we get to the pens that come with the devices. Neither excel here, but yeah, when I put them together next to each other, and if I had to compare them, well, Onyx Boox pen is complete trash. Like, I'm not exaggerating. This is a complete piece of trash, and I don't understand why would they even include something as awful as this. So no, not a competition. That being said, the reMarkable pen isn't perfect either, but yeah, we're comparing these two, not even a competition, complete walkover, even with the standard pen from the reMarkable. Battery life. Well, here's the thing. Note 2 has a 4000 milliamp battery, reMarkable has a 3000 milliamp battery, I believe. But that's not the point. The point is the battery management, and the way Note 2 handles that is absolutely stunning. I have never seen an Android device that has a better battery management than this thing. This is completely unbelievable, and it actually is on par with old Nokia phones that would simply hold their charge like forever, if you are old enough to remember that. This thing feels like it. It's just amazing, absolutely stunning, and there's no competition. If we're comparing reMarkable battery life to this one, not even worth comparing, because reMarkable can't compete with what the Onyx Boox has. So that's a gigantic plus on the Note 2 side. As far as the reader capabilities goes, I believe that if you want to look at in-depth features of what each of the devices have and what the functionalities are, I recommend you to watch my in-depth reviews of both devices, especially Note 2. But suffice to say, I think you will be hard-pressed to find a better equipped, more versatile and more functional e-reader device than the Note 2. This thing is absolutely jam-packed with every single thing that you could possibly think of, and it's been designed and implemented in a way that is simply phenomenal. I think that it's a testament to how these things should be done and how these things should be implemented. And if anyone from reMarkable is even wondering, well, yeah, maybe they should either watch my video or even better, get a Note 2 and kind of learn from the way this was implemented, because reMarkable has the functionalities and it can do reader capabilities. Don't get me wrong, it functions as a reader perfectly fine. It doesn't have any huge issues or anything like that. However, most of the most basic functionalities are completely missing from the reMarkable. Table of contents, I mean, even if it works, it's like barely usable. It's very difficult to use. It doesn't even have a bookmark, a proper bookmark. So I'm sorry, a reader that doesn't give you the ability to underline words, to mark them, to bookmark pages, and to do certain things like this, it's a paper replacement reader, and if that's enough for you, then it's great. But if we're comparing to this thing here, Note 2, then this one completely blows it away. This thing is just absolutely spectacular how it works, and the functionalities are not in your face, and they are actually something that's incredibly productive and worthwhile learning how to use. So primarily as a reader, it's a complete walkover of Note 2 over the reMarkable. Now onto the writing experience and capabilities. Well, here the roles switch. So in this case, like you've probably seen, and if you're interested in details, this is just a summary of these things and a direct comparison. But if you're interested in features, you can check detailed reviews of both devices on my channel. And here, as a writing device, as a notebook device, it's a complete walkover, but this time reMarkable over the Note 2. So that's like a round 2. reMarkable wins, in my opinion, in every single thing. So from the notebook as itself, as an app, the way it works, just because it has layers, it's absolutely dominating the way how you can use notes, especially when sketching. The writing feel is unparalleled to any other device, and in this case we have a crappy little pen plastic nib on a glass screen. It's dreadful. Here I just wanna write because it feels and sounds and it is so good. That's a personal preference. I'm just saying, like, plastic on glass, why the hell would I even do that? Might as well use an iPad. I mean, I really don't get it. This one gives me things that iPad doesn't. However, it's not a complete walkover with the as far as the notebooks go with the reMarkable. I think that reMarkable really should implement one of the things that Note 2 has, and that's writing in different colors, which means that you can actually sketch in a color of certain type, but when the document is exported, that will show on a color screen in the color that you chose, which is a huge plus, and I think it's a huge must when grading papers or doing some basic functionalities. It's a huge plus. So I think it's a super easy thing that they could just implement, because it just says how to translate strokes into what color. I mean, that's just laziness. So there's no excuse why reMarkable shouldn't have that type of functionality. But overall, writing experience and notebook experience, yeah, it's reMarkable almost all the way, except for the colors functionality, which is a plus on the Note 2 side. Everything else, I think reMarkable is a far, far more pleasant and dominating experience. Now, on to the other specifics of between the two devices, some things that I would like to clarify. And let's first start with the performance. On the paper, there should be no discussion whatsoever. It should be a complete and total walkover in every single aspect of the functionality of the device. Yes? Well, let's time the startups here. So I'm just gonna hold the button here and hold the button. So let's start them up and see how quickly each of the devices starts up from a complete power off state. So 3, 2, 1, press. Okay. So they're starting up. Alright, reMarkable is getting there. It's already loading the user interface and stuff. Okay, so it's basically loaded. It's loaded and it's now connecting. Boox is just now loading up the stuff. We're already booted up and finalized here in reMarkable. Connected to the Wi-Fi, everything is done. Boox is still doing his thing. Not connected to the Wi-Fi and connected to the Wi-Fi. So even though this is a far more powerful device on paper, in reality, when you're going from sleep state from power off state to power on state, reMarkable remarkably beats the Onyx Boox. Now let's check the sleep state. So now they're both in the sleep state, and I'm just gonna try the same thing, like 3, 2, 1, go. Right, well, if I had the pin here, it would be the same thing, but generally speaking, from the sleep state, they are in the same category, but the power on is definitely far, far quicker on the reMarkable, despite the specifications difference and dominance from the Note 2. Now on to the RAM side of things and how documents are being handled. I'm gonna use as an example here this Hercules DJ whatever user guide, which is a horrible document because as a front page, it's using this gigantic resolution high-res image thingy, which is completely ridiculous. There's like no reason why it should be there. So from a standpoint of a document, it's terrible. But from a standpoint of memory management, page management, and overall performance of a device, it's a really excellent one because it gives us an opportunity to test things and how the real-world performance of handling such data or other types of data is handled by each of the devices. So let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it's relatively similar, but this shouldn't be. This reMarkable loaded up much faster, though reMarkable is cheating. reMarkable is loading a lower preview before displaying the highest preview. Therefore, now it has loaded and now it shows you this. But as far as usability goes, I see my image and I can interact with the device much earlier than with Note 2. So let's now go forward. Oh, sorry. I need to press 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Fairly similar type of performance, right? So let's now go back. Okay. And check this out. We're going back to that horrible page, the first front page with the image. This is a big difference. So even though Note 2 is strong-arming through loading this image, the preview capability of low-res preview capabilities that reMarkable has simply means that you will be able to see your pages more quickly than on the Note 2. Granted, on the Note 2, when they are loaded in its entirety, not a preview, but full-on size. While with the reMarkable, it will always give you, when it's a situation like this, it will give you a preview, and then it will show the whole thing. As far as the backlight goes, or the front light goes on the screen, I really don't like how... I don't like it. It's really not my cup of tea, and maybe because I am used to something else on my reMarkable, and I'm just using this bog standard clip-on light that's used for books. And basically for my reMarkable, I use it like this, and it just works in dark situations. Why would I prefer this over the glowy front screen? Well, here's the thing. What I'm getting here is a bounced light, and it's a healthy yellowish type of light. This one, you can make it yellow as you want, but it's still the entire surface of the screen glowing right at you. And I find it incredibly disconcerting, and I don't understand what the point is, because one of the main points of getting onto an e-ink display is to be able to eliminate the front light slash backlight, and for me this works brilliantly. Maybe it's just me that I got used to it, but my preference is definitely here. So even though the reMarkable doesn't have a front light, why not use this? Now, because Note 2 is an Android device, and because it's an absolute monster as far as the performance goes, it can do something that I'm absolutely stunned. You maybe know that I'm a game developer, an app developer, and I have a game called Solar Explorer New Dawn, which is fairly demanding, and it has fairly realistic graphics and all that kind of stuff. And just for giggles, I wanted to see if I could run my game on the Note 2 on an e-ink device. And yeah, it looks like poop. But so yeah, this is starting. Loading, playing music, looks dreadful. So let's now change to slightly less dreadful, because the X mode is horrible. Now, I don't know how much of it is being picked up by the camera itself, because it's very, very difficult. So let's now turn on the screen all the way. Let's turn it into a tablet. So I continue game, and of course the look is awful, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm playing my game on an e-ink tablet device. That itself is, first of all, I'm super proud that there's no bugs here and that it all actually works on a device that I've never even... There you go, I unlocked a new skin. Yeah, it doesn't look great, but the input works. Everything actually works. So that's a pretty big plus for me, I gotta say. So the shading works, everything. This monster is doing the whole thing underneath there, and it just kind of works. So you can even play it. I mean, you can even land, even though it's difficult because the refresh rate is terrible. But you know what? This is pretty amazing, even though it's not really usable. I take it back from the original review. This is quite an interesting little thing to have, to actually see what can you do with an e-ink device. Now, of course, we have dreadful ghosting, but I'm playing my game on an e-ink device. Let me repeat that. I'm playing my Android game on an e-ink device. And you know what's funny? This is a really demanding game, and even after playing like for a really long time, it doesn't even get warm. I don't know how. I really don't know how. I mean, it's handling particles as well. It's silly. Oh, that's not gonna happen. Oh my god, the lag. Okay, let's just kill ourselves here. There. I landed. All right, you know what? That was a lot of fun. So even though it's not seriously usable, now let's get a little bit more serious, even though this was properly fun. I think that if you take out of the equation high action, refresh rate games, but things that you can actually play with a decent, that don't require constant refresh rates, like, I don't know, chess, mahjong, or something like that, you can play them on this device. And if that's what you're looking for, that's a huge plus. reMarkable will just say to this, here. Okay, so to summarize, it's really difficult for me to kind of make a decision on, like, I can't give you like a definitive recommendation, this one's better, all true. Main thing is that the Note 2 is a fantastic device, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, and I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find a better overall e-ink display type of tablet. So if what you're looking for is a multifunctional tablet, Android-based, that it can do so many different things, and one of the best e-readers out there that can also do some sketching, then this definitely fits all of the boxes, and it's just an absolutely stunning device. However, if what you're looking for is primarily a note-taking device, then the reMarkable would definitely be my recommendation. No, it doesn't have Android, it doesn't have apps, it doesn't have a browser, it doesn't have speakers, it doesn't have a mic. The reader is so rudimentary that it's just ridiculous. I mean, you can't even select words, it doesn't have a dictionary, the table of contents is what the hell. But my daily routine consists out of 95% of the time I'm writing or sketching, and 5% of the time I will use this device for reading. As such, I've tried using the Note 2 in my daily routine with those needs, and I simply couldn't. Basically, I think you would have a similar type of experience in opinion if you tried to use reMarkable primarily for just reading and as an e-reader device. Then you simply would go like, screw that, man, I'm going for the Note 2. So I think it boils down to simply your use case scenario. If you find yourself in your daily routine mainly going through documents, reading them and marking them, and just your workflow revolves around EPUBs, PDFs or doc files, without a question it's the Note 2. If on the other hand your day revolves around taking notes, sketching and doing writing type of stuff, then without a question it would be the reMarkable Gen 1, or hopefully Gen 2 is going to be out soon, so hopefully that's going to be good too. So I hope that this kind of helps pitting these two together, which should be competitors, but in a weird way they are not. That being said, if you're looking for an overall device that does everything well, I think Note 2 takes the cake. But for me, primarily, I'm using the writing, and I just can't get used off the writing experience on the reMarkable. I know it may sound weird, but it's so different, it's so authentic, it's so satisfying that it's, for me, it proved completely impossible to get used to plastic on glass and just glass surface and all of that kind of stuff. It just didn't work. So unfortunately for me, Note 2 didn't fit, and it's gonna be going back, and I'm sticking with the reMarkable. Thanks for watching, hope this video helps, and as always, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and see you soon. Bye!